Everybody, how y'all doing today? Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Hi everybody, hello everybody, hello. How are y'all doing today? Yes. Um, I'm throwing out some dinner back there. Throwing out some dinner, some fish. So yes, this is my kitchen. My kitchen. Here's my kitchen. The office just got a little bit too crowded. So I wanted to use the space that I have. And we have transported to my kitchen dogs. So anyway, I want to say, I want to thank everyone for coming in today and being with me. My name is Sharice Johnson Moore, and this is Think About It Sunday, right? And the topic I have for you today is called Look at How Far You've Come. Look at how far you've come. Look at how far you've come. Okay. Why I gave this title is because it is so important for us to do a, how you say it, a backdraft. I'm gonna call it a backdraft. The backdraft of look what you was doing maybe 5 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, maybe uh, 7 years ago, maybe five. I know I can count I know what I've done in my life. And I'm going to say this, I'm very proud of myself. Very proud of myself. Because if you ain't proud of what you doing, I don't know. Man, I'm proud about me. I know you got to be proud about you. So my thing is, um, you know, be happy. Be happy if you started that business. Be happy if you just I don't if you wrote the how can I say this? If you thought about the title of your new book you're gonna write. Think about it. Think about some things that you might have accomplished today and look how far you have come. Look how far I'm trying to type at the same time. Okay. And look how far you have come. Look how far you have come within a time frame of maybe 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Uh, you know, and sometimes you got to think about, um, yeah, think about it. I remember, I'm gonna say this. 20 years ago, I wasn't even thinking about this. 20 years ago, what was I doing 20 years ago? What's this? 2021. So 20 years, they make it 2010, 2010, something like that. 2000, really, they say 20 years ago, 2000. 2000, I know what happened in 2000. In 2000, I'm going 20 years back for myself. 2000 had gotten me a charge for forgery and uttering, okay, which I pled guilty to, and I got probation, first time offenders. It wasn't. I'll give you the backstory of that. I turned around and I was into drugs 20 years ago. I was out there, just out there in the world. I was just out there. I was doing drugs. I was all kind of stuff. Okay, you got to get the book to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, because the book it's titled "Coming to Loving Yourself." So, um, 20 years ago, I got a charge for forgery and uttering. Okay, cuz say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I want you to cash the check. Okay, back. I'm gonna give you the backstory to that. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and help you cash this check. Okay, so all right, I'm standing in line and I knew he had stole the check. See, I'm gonna be honest with myself. I knew he stole the check, but I was thinking about the money because I had a drug addiction at the time and I needed money to get my next high. Okay. Anyway, so with that being said, I turned around and I was like, okay, I'm standing in line. All right, okay, I don't think I'm gonna cash this check. All right, no, I was not gonna do that. Okay, first time offender, pled guilty. But I pled guilty, okay, and I got put on probation. And hmm, for the next 10 years, I stayed in the system. For the next 10 years, for the next 15 years, I'm gonna say 15 years, I stayed in the system. After that one charge, I stayed in the system. And I decided I wanted something different out of life. That's when I had those three deaths. Them three deaths, 2011 and 2000 and 2011, 2014, 2015 were my breaking point of years. That I wanted something different after I had those three deaths in my life. And I wanted something different. Okay, and look at me now. Back then, I wasn't thinking about writing no book until 2015. That's been 6 years ago. I wrote a book. I wrote a book. I wrote a book. I become an ordained minister, an author, entrepreneur. I have done all those things. I have done all those things. An executive producer. I have changed my life, and I want to help other people change theirs. God helped me turn my life around with those three deaths. I keep going back to those three deaths. Okay. My thing is, at the time, I didn't look at the deaths I didn't look at the deaths as something positive. I thought I was losing something, but God was giving me something. God was giving me a new me. And he made me think about my life. He made me think about where I wanted to go. He made me think. God made me think in those times of those deaths. So since then, since 2015, I've become a author, I've become a minister, I've become so many other things that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy singing. I enjoy singing, and singing is my first love. Singing for the Lord is my first love. Been singing since I was 7, but hey, sometimes things like our time on earth is like teaching us a lesson. Look at how far you've come. Think about how you become in, I would say, like 10 years or 20 years. You think about all the stuff you've done in your life. Think about all the stuff you've done and see how far you come. Now I reached the pinnacle of the halfway mark of 50 years old. And 50 years old is round the corner. Round the corner on me. It's July the 24th. I'll be 50 years old. And thank you, Jesus. So thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus, for turning it around for me. Think about how far you come in your life and what you have changed about your life and what you have changed about your relationships and what you have changed about the way you see yourself and how you see others, and think about it, how far you've come. Did I freeze? Okay, I don't want to be freezing. Okay, so my thing is, think about it. Think about your life. Think about everything that you dreamt of. Okay, some people have dreams. Some people have dreams, and some people have dreams, and some people think that all right, because my dream didn't manifest when you wanted it to, doesn't mean that God is finished with you yet. You still got breath. You still got activity of your limbs. You still have these things in your. You still have the ability to walk and talk and breathe and think and all these things. And God still have these your abilities. You still have these things to deal, to do in your life. I can count on my hand how many people I've lost in my life. But I look back over it and I think about, oh, thank you, Jesus. You could have took me out, you could have took me out with smoking crack, or you could have took me out with hanging out with the wrong dudes. You could have took me out from, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because I've been in plenty of places where they were shooting. Okay, I have. I've been in plenty of places where they're shooting. And thank Jesus, I did not get struck by the bullets. I thank you, Jesus. Thank God that God had you covered. Think about look at how far you come, how things are in your life. And you think about, oh Lord, He keep blessing me and blessing me and blessing me. And that is a good thing. Sometimes we take life for granted. We take life for granted, and sometimes we gotta get a wake up call. We gotta get a wake up call or announcement or something happen, and we got to get this understanding that, look, Lord, I thank you. I thank you for everything. I thank you for health and strength, and I can get out there. I can stand up in this chair because you know the older I seem like the older I get, or the older we get, our bodies start telling us that we start having the aches and pains, and your knees start hurting, and your feet can't get into the shoes, and you can't wear these heels no more. And I used to wear them heels way up here, like them lot that I call them stripper shoes. I used to wear those, right? And now I can't wear none of that stuff. It's like, child, look how far I've come. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today? My thing is, look how far you have come. Look at how far God has brought you to this place where you have everything working for you. And He got you right where He wants you. And you don't have, child, just take a piece of paper. Take a piece of paper, right? And write all the things that you've done that you have went through in your life. And then you look at all the stuff that God helped you avoid. Okay, being in a car with the wrong person, or I got one time I was driving, and get this example. One time I was driving my grandmother's car, and me and my boyfriend at the time, we were driving. Okay, and it snowed that night before. And okay, all right, we're gonna get on the road. Next thing in the morning, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get to the house, right? So I didn't see the patch of black ice that was sitting there. Okay, didn't see the patch of black ice. Didn't see that. So I was driving. So turn around and we sitting there and we chilling and everything. We driving along. Oh, we almost to the crib, right? Okay. But didn't see that patch of black ice. So hit that patch of black ice, did a 360 in the road. Then I went to it was a 3-lane highway, 3-lane, 3-lane, and I'm glad the road was not, how sometimes you drive those lanes and they have a barrier between them. And this one did not have that. It was like separate, you have like grass and stuff in the middle and stuff. Okay, so turn around. And then 4 more other cars wanted to hit the same patch of black ice, I guess. And I did the 360 in the road, and then hit the other cars. They were coming at me like four more other cars hit me sitting on. I had already stopped spinning, but then it seemed like it was a chain reaction with that one piece of that thing of black ice, right? I'm in the car, he go bam, bam, bam. My car is the one that's getting hit with all these other cars. I'm glad it was a guardrail there, right? So I think about how many people have those kind of collisions and don't make it home. We see it on the video now. We got YouTube and all sorts of stuff. And you see so many things. You see so many things happen like that where the person is sitting in the car and they're sitting in the car and they driving along and something happened and they end up dead in the accident and it wasn't even their fault. You see that, and I'm thinking back to that, and it gives me a thing of, look, I'm grateful that I'm here. Look how far you've come. You know, it, Look how far you've come from being broke and homeless and and it's been so many times. How many times, how many people on this broadcast can say that they started over more than once in life? I like to see your comments in the section, that you started over more than one time in your life. And sometimes it's not a bad thing to start over. Sometimes that's good because sometimes you leave all that other foolishness behind because you get a wake up. You be like, oh no, I don't need to do that again. I don't need to go through that again. I don't need to be bothered with that again. I don't need to be bothered with that person. I don't need to, I just, no. That was learning that's for me. Look how far you come. Look how far, and I even I even got a chance in my life to go to college. I didn't graduate from high school. I got my GED. I got a bachelor's degree in psychology. And the thing is, look at all the things that you've been through in your life, whether you started over, whether you are a recovering addict, whether you might have been you might have dealt with some things in your life. Look how far you have come from where you were. I can go all the way back to my childhood and think about how far I've come because neither one of my parents wanted me. Neither one of my parents had time for me, made time for me, did anything for me. And my grandmother took me in. My grandmother took me in as a baby. She took me in as a baby and raised me as her own, even when her own son did not want to take care of me. He was too busy out there womanizing and stuff. But my thing is, I look at that. I could have been in foster care. I could have been from one house to the next house to this house, and everybody just all the wonders a check. Look how far you have come. Look how far life has brought you to the place where you don't have to. I thank God. I thank God every day. Thank God every day that He's got you here, that you're here, that your children are here, that your parents are still living, that you still have activity of your limbs. Look how far you've come. Well, now it's a thing of I don't I don't take life for granted. I don't take life for granted because life is too short. We see how the building collapsed on the people in Miami, and it's like, and I'm sitting, I'm a Curious George type person. I'm a Curious George type person. And I'm thinking, well, why did the curious person that I am, first I'm thinking, how did the building just collapse like that? That had to be and that had to be some structural damage, where people didn't do what they supposed to do when it comes to inspections and things like that. So I went and looked up, the things was happening. Exactly what I said. Structural damage, people passing the buck on the inspections of the building and things like that. And think about the people that have survived that. They are You thinking about all the people that lived in that building and the ones that made it or didn't even go home that day. They probably had something else to do, and you thinking about how God has saved their lives, how God has brought them through, and they could talk about this experience. So I lived in this building, and the building collapsed, child, but I'm here. I'm here. I might have been home. I was in the wrong part of the building. I was on the side of the building. I was think about all the things that God has brought you, how far you've come. Think about that car accident, or somebody tried it, or you car accident, drug overdose, uh, uh, in the wrong place, wrong time. You might be in the store and the store got robbed and the man didn't shoot you, but he shot the person beside you. Or you think about all the things that God has brought you through. Look at how far you have come. That God has saved you and protected you and put a hedge of protection over your head to protect you from all the hurt, harm, and danger. Think about it. That's man. Think about how far you've come. And sometimes we had to put that piece of you had to put a piece of paper, get a piece of paper, get your piece of paper, and start writing. Okay, well this happened to me, and this happened, and this happened, and okay, this happened and such. Da 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 da. Think about it. Think about all the ways and look how far you are now. Look at where you could have been, where you should have been, where you could have been, and think about where you at right now. That's all, I just had to bring it to you like that. Look how far God, look how far you've come. And you didn't now some things we can avoid on our own and some things we can't we try to as much as we can and then we think we think that we are safe and sometimes it just gets to where all right, I'm just caught in the middle of some stuff I ain't mean to be in. How did I get here? How did I get all up in this? And you think about it like this, okay? It's called the grace of God. Grace of God deliver you from that. Grace of God deliver you from being in the wrong place at the wrong time with wrong people doing the wrong things. God has a way of delivering you from out of making a way out of no way. When it comes to bills, when it comes to money, when it comes to income, when it comes to anything in life. Look at how far you've come. Think about it. So, and life has a way of turning on us, but then we have to look at the positive parts. What I had to ask myself, I honestly ask myself, what part did I play in what happened in my life? I had to ask myself that. I had to ask myself when I was writing my book. I had to actually go in and think about how did I end up in that mess anyway. And I just ran out of common sense. I knew right from wrong, but I didn't stop myself. I had a choice. Everybody has a choice. We all have choices we make, right? And the thing is, we have to learn how to make the right choices in our life. With a lot of decisions a lot of things that we decide to do, we gotta say, look, okay, is this gonna be good or bad for me, or I don't know. Sometimes, let me tell you something, your instincts never lie. Your instincts will never lie to you. Your instincts will never tell a lie to you because it will tell you, be like, look, now you know that ain't right. You behind that person tapping you on the shoulder. Come on now, come on. Now that ain't right. That's not right. You know. Okay, your instincts will tell you right from wrong, but we have to learn how to listen to them. Sometimes we just don't listen to them. We don't listen to them. That's how we end up in a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that we went through because we just didn't use common sense and we didn't listen to our instincts. Okay, so you know, but I think me from perspective, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and we all are still growing and we still learning how to listen to what God is trying to tell us. So, what I say, look at how far you've come. I know, I thought I would never see the day that my kids, me and my kids, me and my two boys, me and my two boys would ever have the relationship that we got. That we sit down and we talk and mom, I want to ask you this, and mom want to ask you that, and it's like, wow, And I'm gonna tell you something, that was something I prayed for because I was not a good mother when I was raising my kids. I was not a good mother. I was out there in the street doing whatever, doing drugs, doing this, jumping from dude to dude to dude, didn't care, didn't bother, didn't think about it, and it was like I was not a good mother. But now it's like I had to look at I had to look at my part I played with their relationship with me. And look how far we have come. We've come a long ways. Well, Mother's Day, my oldest son turned around and gave me a round trip ticket, all expense paid trip to Miami. He lives in Miami. So I was like, oh, oh, oh my God. Oh my God, I can't believe it's happening, right? And I would, and that was something that I would always see other mothers enjoying their children would do for their mothers and things like that. I'm like, man, I wish I had a relationship like that with my kids. And now I can actually say, yeah, I got one. Because they call me every day. I mean, one time we wasn't talking at all. We wasn't talking at all. We especially me and my old, we weren't talking at all. Now it's like, Mom, what you doing? It's every day and it's constant conversation, and we can be honest with each other and things like that. And the thing is, it's like pure gold. It's pure gold. Now I know how it feels when the mothers and the sons have a relationship. They correspond and everything is lovely. And child, my child. So look how far you come. Maybe you've had a relationship like that with your children, where you wasn't the greatest mother. You wasn't doing right by the kids, and I understand. But then it takes them to really sit down and get to talking to you, or you tell them what's going on in your life, and you tell them that this is what happened to me, and da, da, da. You explain to them this is what happened and this is why I acted the way I act. If we don't sit down and explain nothing to our children, they'll still be acting. They'll still be wondering what happened. They'll be like, well, wasn't I good enough, or things like that. Now it's like, Ma, now I had that relationship and look how far I've come. That's been 30 years ago. My oldest son is 30 years old. My son behind him is 28. And my daughter, she'll be 25. And I'm thinking, okay, all right, and it's like, wow. And I thank the Lord for that kind of relationship. And I look at how far I've come. Look how far I've come, where I can have a conversation with them without them screaming and yelling and cussing me out. And child, I don't went through some stuff with my children, but my thing is that God has granted me the prayers that I have been praying for. Sometimes you got to pray and you got to give that to God about changing a lot of stuff in your life, because you just got to give it to him and leave it there and stop stressing yourself over that. Stop stressing yourself. Stop, stressing yourself over stuff that you have to give to God to change. Not you can't change. You can't force that. You have to give God his time and his moments that's due. When it's time for he know when it's time to come around and you change. God knows. God knows when to lay that on their heart. God knows when to place that in their minds, about, well, maybe I need to, maybe I need to do something different, have a different conversation. So I said, look at how far you've come. Look at how far you come with your life, with your tenacity, with your determination, with your business, with your just life in general. Just life in general. Because sometimes life can throw us a monkey wrench and have us all tore up. Life can throw us a curveball. We have to learn how to hit that out the park. So, and then we just have to come to that and say, look, and be proud of how far you come. Be happy. You know, stop looking at all the negative stuff and look at what you have survived. Look at what you have came through. Look at what you have come over. Look, overcome, and be happy with your life. Stop being stuck in the past and look at how far God has blessed you right now. God has blessed you in so many ways. He allowed you to see this day. He allowed you to have breath in your body, activity of your limbs, and you are in your right mind. Okay? I got a friend right now. She in the hospital. I just talked to her Friday. She said she's going. I talked to her Thursday. She was fine. She was all okay. Now she in the hospital today. She went in the hospital Friday evening after I talked to her. I was like, really? See, time is of the essence. Time is winding down, especially when your friends. You have friends. I'm type person. I've been kind of like with older people because I'm an old. Somebody call me an old soul because I like to glean older people's knowledge because I learned a long time ago. I could learn something from them. Don't you got to go to the past to learn how you gonna treat your future. Okay, well, I ain't gonna repeat this, and I ain't gonna do this, and I ain't sometimes hey, I understand sometimes like that, but I like to be up under older people and look how far you've come. Look how far your relationships are. Look how far you've come to to not having a lot of women where they want to have kids, and a lot of women like, well, I can't have no kids, and I can't get this, and then now you got kids that's 20 years old, they grown, then you got some grandkids that's coming and things like that, and just look at how far God has brought you. Okay, everybody. So I want to say thank you for coming in for Think About It Sunday. And the topic has been for today is look at how far you've come. Look at how far you've come. Write it on a piece of paper, write it down, because then you'll see the blessings that God has given you. I want to thank everyone for coming in for Think About It Sunday. And I will be back here at 6 o'clock for Authors Excerpt Sunday at 6 o'clock. Same place, YouTube and Instagram. I'll be here, okay? For Authors Excerpt Sunday. Sorry, I do not have a guest for us today. So I'm just gonna pick a topic. I got a topic for you, okay? And I want to teach. I want to teach on this author's excerpt Sunday coming up, okay? It'll be a teaching moment, okay? I love y'all, and I will see y'all back here at 6 o'clock. Thank you for coming to. Thank you for tuning in to Think About It Sunday, and our topic has been look at how far you've come. All right, I want to thank everybody for on Instagram and thank everybody on YouTube, okay? I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day, okay? Bye, babies. Bye, babies. Bye, babies.